We wish you a Merry Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas
And a Happy New Year.
We've even got lights.
Look.
Yay.
Actually, you can't really see them. We put those up just to be really, really festive. How is everybody? I hope the signal's okay. We are actually sat in our house for the first time, first Christmas in about 7 years.
Indeed.
So can everybody hear us okay? Is the signal all good? Because you know how these live chats go, that very often you think it's all working and then nobody can hear you.
The internet.
So pop it in the comment if you can hear us all right. And let us all know. Let's have a look. Phil and Lisa, all good. Hi, Phil and Lisa.
And where are you watching? Because we know that Mr. and Mrs. P
Sounds
are currently
in
an airport collecting their daughter from a flight to Japan. Adventure. Yay!
Yeah, we want to thank Brian and Maria for moderating today's live chat. But we've missed you guys. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
You know, we've been at home and it's been a bit of a whirlwind. So tonight we wanted to share what we've been up to, catch up with all of you guys, see what you've been up to, answer any questions you have, talk about the next adventure.
We should raise a glass for Christmas, though.
We got a couple of beers lined up. So Merry Christmas.
I've got Lemsip. I'm getting over a cold.
Marianne's been a bit poorly. She's got a bit of a cold, so she's on the Lemsip. So I'm having a beer for her. So let's see who we got in the house. Hi, Ellery, Joanne, Brendan Explores,
Mark from Essex.
Jolanta,
Poland.
Phil and Lisa at home watching on the big screen on the telly.
Tony and Jill.
Andrew from Bristol. We got Colorado.
Joanne Young.
Mel and Mark in Essex.
Stuart Gray. That's great.
Loads of people from London.
Oh, that's great. G. Tyler's got my drink. I'm sitting in front of my big screen TV.
Eric from the Netherlands. Wigan. New York City.
Oh, wow.
Birmingham. From Pakistan. Turkey. Bulgaria. We got a nice international crowd here today. So thanks for all spending your time. I hope you're all organised for Christmas. It's always a crazy time. And we haven't been home for like 7 years, but we have actually taken it back our house. If you've been following us for a while, you know we've rented the house for the last 7 years, and we've actually taken it back. So it's so nice to be in our house.
It is.
We got a friend who's living in the house for us when we travel. So if you hear a couple of dogs in the background, they're his dogs.
They're not ours.
They're not ours.
Although we get snuggles.
And they are very naughty, and they are messing around. We got Yoka. I saw Clint and Linda, Crooks Hideaway in the house. Yeah. Istanbul. It's going to be a good Christmas. We got lots of family coming, and
it's been odd, really. We were reminiscing, and in 2020 we had Christmas in Dalian in Trudy outside Levents. 21 we actually flew home to see family.
That was between Turkey and going to the US.
So we were actually in the UK getting Trudy's MOT. And we're going to answer questions. So if you've got any questions, think about some good ones. Maybe the MOT is one of them. In 2022, we were in Penang. That's where I passed out twice outside the Thai embassy.
Not the best. That was Christmas Eve.
Sick at Christmas. Maybe I'm allergic to Christmas.
No, Marianne. Scrooge.
2023, we were in Mexico dog sitting Phil for our friend Eva. And 2024, we're in the UK. Cheers, baby.
Avni. Hey, Avni. How you doing?
Hey, Avni.
Avni's the one we stayed with and Sybil in Mozambique.
It's our chosen family.
Our chosen family there. That was a good, fabulous time. Africa was amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been a while. And what have we been up to? Well, first of all, catching up with friends and family has been mad. And we've actually, to be honest, it's actually been really hard for us to go back into a house. When your house has been rented for so long, there's so many things. Like the back garden looked like Jumanji, literally.
Minus the crocodile.
Yeah.
It was Jumanji.
And it's been quite tough from the perspective of we lose stuff all the time. It's so hard to concentrate to actually work and edit and plan because we just got friends, family turning up. There's distractions of maintenance on the house. And living in a house is definitely overrated. And I want to get back into a vehicle.
I was just about to say, there are pros and cons to any life. And I think in van life, that's where the freedom aspect is. It's like, it's not easy living in van life. You know, you don't have a flushing toilet, you don't have unlimited water, but what you do have is you have less stuff. And the less stuff you have, you're likely not to break. So if you're in a house, the dishwasher could break, the washing machine can break, the fridge can break, the lights go. We've had a house trip twice on the electrics. We've had
storms. There's a storm tonight. So if it suddenly goes off, we've had a power cut.
Yeah.
But we got away with the last one.
And we were really grateful because we actually brought our power banks from Trudy into the house to charge and plug everybody's devices. So it's been really interesting how we still refer to Trudy as our safe space with.
So I can see there's a few questions on Trudy. We'll come on to a bit about Trudy and how she is and what the plan with her is. We're going to tell you tonight about the next adventure and some of the problems we've had trying to organise the next adventure. We can see somebody from Kuala Lumpur. I saw it's Jahari. Oh, it's late there. You're up late, my friend. Emmy, who's in the front room. Hi, Emmy. How you doing?
That's our niece.
Our niece is staying over. Ursula in the house. The man, the myth, the legend is here.
The man, the myth, the legend. We love you.
And Elif. We hope you're doing good.
That's great.
So when we finished the last video, when we crossed the finish line, I was talking and saying, see you next on Expedition Living. And everyone, there you go. We got the logo and everything. And a lot of people was going, are you carrying on your YouTube channel? Or is Expedition Living the name of the YouTube channel? So I apologize if I confused everybody. But Expedition Living is the name of the series that we're going to make on the last 4.5 years. But I have to be honest that when I've sat down and I've started planning the episodes, that's the dog's distraction. The dog needs to go out. I started planning the episodes and everything. But then when you go back through 4.5 years of footage, it's a mission. So I do apologize. I was planning to do an episode of Expedition Living every week. And being at home with the distractions of life in a house and everything else, and trying to find all the footage has been really hard.
Yeah.
But I haven't given up on the episode. I'm taking all the footage with me on our adventures, and I will be working with that in the background. So there will be a very cool series of Expedition Living, of all the highlights and our reflections and untold stories and everything else of the round the world trip. And there will be a book, but that might take me a little bit longer to write because I haven't started it.
What I want to add as well is we're very, very fortunate. We have a really lovely, fabulous chosen family and creator group around us. And they reminded us that this is not about bashing something out.
No.
And that it has been 4.5 years of life, not just for us, but everyone who joined us on that journey. And we have to do it right. So I think Chris has taken that on board, and we really need to do it right rather than bang it out, because the YouTube are raw, episodes of what's happening, how we fix things, how we make things happen, where this is going to be more of a sort of documentary style.
Yeah, it's going to still be clips from the videos, but then how we actually really felt at the time and some stories that we couldn't tell you at the time, and a little bit of unseen footage. So I'm quite excited. It's going to be a good series. But like I say, be patient. It might be a few months, but it will be coming out. Content wise, we'll come on to the trip. But the videos,
Yoka and Eric
in the house. The videos will start. The weekly videos will start again from around the middle of January, once we've started filming and editing and everything. So it won't be long until every Sunday you'll have a Tread the Globe video, and then from then on we'll be doing one every week. There won't be long gaps like this. This is just, we took a few months off because obviously traveling 4.5 years, finally getting home has been really quite. We were inundated with interviews and media companies and magazines and news channels, and it's been absolutely amazing and lovely, and we wanted to share the story and talking at a couple of shows and stuff. But the real travels are coming up. We're going to talk about that.
Reconnecting with family is something. It was really bizarre because a lot of people say to us, but on the road, isn't it like really weird missing your family and everything? And we're sort of like, we're so busy and consumed by work. But now we've come home to sunny Shropshire, which isn't that sunny right now.
It's not sunny at all.
It's been so lovely. You know, I even walked into our local corner shop and they said, "Oh, how are you doing? I haven't seen you for a bit." And I chuckled because I was thinking,
have you had a nice holiday?
Yeah, they didn't even realise that we've gone. I've gone for like 6 years from the house.
I remember actually when I worked in a hotel in London. I worked at the Dorchester in London for many years, and I left, and I went back about 3 years after I left, and I walked through the front doors, and a guest came up to me and said, "Hi, Chris, haven't seen you for a while. Where you been?" And
has that ever happened to you? This is
just
like
hilarious.
The weirdest thing that's ever happened. Also, we've met so many lovely people that have come up to us in the supermarkets as well, haven't they? They've walked past done a double take, and then realised that we are back. And it's so nice because having people come up and say, "I can't believe you did it. Well done." You know, it's so lovely.
Trudy did it.
But everybody really engaged with the challenge because, you know, I know she's not the right fan for the job. I know that, you know, she's not the best fan and we weren't the best prepared. But I think it's about overcoming. So many of us you've been through so many different things. And I feel really grateful that we had the opportunity to prove we could do it.
We did it.
And with the support of all our, you know, our tribe. And
it was all very
members.
Emotional. It was emotional. I get all teary when I watch the end.
I'm not a crier.
But actually, me neither. But
Chris managed to catch me crying. Usually it has to be pretty bad.
I think that last video, I made a few of you cry when you watched it.
Yeah.
I've seen somebody's in Singapore. Somebody, where did I see? Somebody is in Singapore, walking and cycling tours. Greetings from Singapore, 2 a.m. You're either very jet lagged or you're up very late tonight. So yeah, thank you for joining us. And so yeah, the welcome home party was fabulous. That was all great. I'm sure you saw the live. That's on YouTube. And then we did a road trip with F&A Van Life, Frankie and Alex.
Oh, going back to the party, we raised £7,500.
We did
for the Turtle Project. Please go down to Sahar, give her a hug and say, well done you, because she's still tirelessly working, doing promotional stuff when it's not laying or hatching season. With that £7,500, we've had over £3,000 worth of solar panels. Eric and Yoga are going to get me some photos that we can put on the GoFundMe page. And the rest of the money has gone towards extending the centre to enable having tanks, a library, a rehab center, and the solars to run the electric for the fridges, for the vets that are actually doing the work on the turtles. So well done to everybody who supported this project. And it goes to show how epic we all are.
Yeah.
High five!
Boom. So yeah, that was a fabulous night. We raised money for a good cause. I can see Jenny from San Antonio, Texas. We love your city. It was amazing there. And we got some people from South Africa. We missed South Africa on our African adventures. We will definitely come back. There's plans to head back there in the future.
Ian Troop, are you taking Trudy on your next adventure, or is she on the state pension now?
She's not. Neither, actually. Neither. We'll come on to that in a second.
Oh, Dave, Merry Christmas. Dave's camper vanning.
Hi, Dave.
Linda Taylor, hi, missed you. Merry Christmas and can't wait for the adventures in 2025.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
So there was heavy rain in Manavgat and there was a lot of damage in the town.
Yeah.
Hopefully Sahar is okay.
Yeah.
They do get some crazy storms down there. We got caught in one, didn't we?
We did. It smashed the roof.
Smashed the roof of Trudy, if you remember.
Hailstones.
In fact, an interesting thing about Trudy's roof.
Oh, yes.
If you remember when we were in India, when we shipped from Malaysia to India, there was a hole in the roof hatch from where they threw the straps over. Yeah. And Chris repaired it with an old washing up bowl. And
Blue Peter badge time. If anybody works at Blue Peter, I think
I MacGyvered it. And it's still on. It's still on. It is leaking a little bit around, but we've tried to get a replacement hatch for Trudy. And we've even gone to places to see if they can make them. They don't do them that size. They can't make them. So I think we might have to, at some point this year, drive back to Turkey.
What a shame.
Just to get a roof hatch made.
What a shame. What a shame.
And eat some food, obviously.
What a shame.
Anything is possible in Turkey, as I say.
Yeah. And we're going to see Victoria.
Jen Pinto, how you doing? Nice to see you.
Jen.
Happy holidays.
Give Douglas happy holidays from us, Mimi. We will.
Let's see. So yeah, we did a road trip with F&A Van Life, Frankie and Alex. If you've seen those videos, it was so much fun traveling with those guys. We love those guys.
Oh, we do.
We met them in the US, and we had so much fun hanging out. So if you haven't seen their videos and you've missed us, we went traveling with them. I was like, look, we won't film it. You film it for your channel, and we'll take you on a road trip around the UK. So we did that. Although, to be honest, they did most of the planning on what they wanted to see, and we drove them.
It It was. So
we didn't really
fun.
show them our country. We just drove them.
It was so much fun because the reality is that we've never really done van life in the UK. We just haven't really done that much. So we handed it over to Alex and we said, you show us our country. And she did an epic job. And of course, we picked up tips and ideas and places when we went to the Adventure Overland show. Thank you for inviting us. And the NEC, thank you again for inviting us to speak 2 days. It was wild. We had a great time, didn't we? And met so many people. If you were at the show, give us a hands up and a wave.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for coming over and hugging us and coming to see Trudy and like being part of the adventure, because again, we see some names at the end. So when you come up and say, hi, I'm Phil and Lisa, like when we did the convoy, it was just epic.
It's lovely to meet you in person.
It's epic.
We like doing the meetups because it's nice to actually meet all of you guys as well. I can see a lovely message here from Jenny the Pooh. My son has special needs and loves both of y'all. Thank you very much. Hi to your son. And he's obviously got good taste, as you say. And I hope you have a fabulous Christmas. Give Trudy a hug. We will. We got South Korea in the house. We loved our time in South Korea.
Sending lots of love to you guys right now.
And so that was a great road trip. And Trudy.
Ross and Sharon, hi. Thank you so much.
We drove Trudy around the UK, obviously, with Frankie and Alex. She's all been good. Never in her life has she been on the back of a tow truck. She might have had a few problems here and there and spent many, many months in the garage in Vancouver and places. But we actually had to call a tow truck. Marianne had gone out and she picked her dad up, who is 93. You might have seen him on the finish line. And she called me and she said, this is typical Marianne. She calls and she says, is the driveway clear? I'm coming in. And I'm like, well, what do you mean you're coming in? She goes, Trudy has no brakes. And I'm like, no brakes or like not so good brakes? And she's like, no brakes. So she was just down the road. So Trudy has no brakes.
Yeah, it was the day of the storm. So there wasn't much traffic out. And our friend Sean, who lives here, said to me, don't take any little car. You need to take Trudy because the puddles I went through rivers. It was wild. I have never seen flooding like it up here because we're quite high up. And literally.
Yeah, the storms have been quite bad.
I was very lucky. There was nobody else on the road.
Stuart
driving.
There you go. Stuart met us at the NEC. Thanks for coming to say hi, Stuart. Try and come down to Watford. I used to work at the Watford Hilton many years ago. Is it still there? I don't know whether it's still there. I mean, we're going back to the early 90s now.
Yeah. To In a Transit. Thank you so much.
Vancouver Island.
Zoe and
we had a brief meeting in Courtney.
Oh, look at that. And thanks, Linda guys. And Clint, it was a great party. Glad we were able to attend. Honestly, your suit was the winner of the contest.
Definitely. And so Trudy's brakes didn't work. We had to call a tow truck because there's no way we could drive her. Our local garage fixed her. It was actually a brake line that had been rubbing by the front driver's side wheel. Mm-hmm. And it had been rubbing and eventually it burst and leaked the brake fluid. So there was no brakes, but you'll be pleased to know that she is now fixed.
Suzanne from Quebec, merci. C'est très gentil. À vous aussi. She's wishing us all happy Christmas and a happy and good New Year from Quebec.
There you go.
I do want to come.
Let's dip into the comments here, guys. If you've got any questions, let us know. How is your auntie? Aunt Julia is fine.
We love Aunt Julia.
We love Aunt Julia. She is very supportive and a lovely person.
Sharon in Plymouth, UK. Excited about your next adventure. Thank you. We are so excited, aren't we? I think 2-3 months at home is enough. We've hugged everybody. We've kissed everybody. We've eaten everybody's food. We feel like teenage kids a bit, don't we? We go to your house. We eat your food. We sleep in your bed.
We are the best guests if we come in Trudy, though, because we bring our own bedroom.
And then we leave. Can anybody else relate with that? With kids, teenage kids? We just come in, check the fridge, what you got to eat. I love it.
There you go. Maria and Brian are there. Look, lovely.
Big love, guys.
Greetings from Northeast. Trudy family, you're looking good. I've actually lost loads of weight. Most of it was from my hair because Marianne cut my hair today. She didn't leave. I didn't have much to begin with, but there isn't much left now. So yeah, it's good actually because I don't need to brush it now.
But I took lessons first. I watched the Grinch movie with the kids first, and then I went in.
There you go. So yeah, Trudy is all done. So let's give you a little bit about
David and Angela.
We'll give you a little bit. Did you miss the big announcement, Tolga? No, you didn't miss the big announcement.
Tolga,
I mean, if you do a live chat,
for your lovely wishes.
If you do a live chat, I've got to do the big announcement halfway through the live chat.
Yes.
So in another 10, 15 minutes, because otherwise everybody hears the news and then I'm here all alone. Hello from New Zealand.
Oh, hi.
The lights look amazing there, look. See, can we not sit so we can see the lights? I'm not very good because it's all like...
There you go.
There you go.
But it just looks like we don't like each other anymore.
No, we're doing that for the Christmas lights,
okay.
not because we've got any... That's better, isn't it? Do you know what's amazing about this picture?
I wondered if you were going to share that.
We bought this picture years ago when we had a pub. We used to own a pub, and we went to an auction because I was trying to get a pizza oven. It's a long story, but I ended up buying this picture. And what's amazing, we didn't realize it at the time, but when you look at the bottles of wine, the one with the two labels,
yeah,
right? One's got the year I was born.
That one there.
And one's got the year Marianne was born. And that was purely by chance. Is that not weird?
I also want to add that, Chris and I have been saying we're so proud, so happy. We've been married for 27 years and we still get on. We got it wrong. We were actually at Chris's
We've been married longer. We've had so much fun, we've lost count.
We were at Chris's dad's and we said, I can't believe we've been married 27 years. And he went, you haven't? And we were like, haven't we? We've been telling everyone it's 27 years. And he went, no, it's 28 years. You've been together 29 years.
My dad remembers it because it was one of his big birthdays that year. So it's in his head. So yeah, so we've actually been married a year longer than we thought. Who would have thought
You're
that?
welcome.
There you go.
Hello from Skegness.
Skegness, Bulgaria, Mauritius.
Oh, Mr. Fix It. I thought it was a cupboard. I know it does look like it, doesn't it? With that like rusticy wood bit around it.
No, it's a picture. You see, if I block it out, it looks like a cupboard.
Transit. That's what happens when you marry your best friend.
We don't really argue. It's good. As long as you just happy wife, happy life. As long as Marianne's happy, I'm happy.
Ross put hair is overrated. His dad.
My dad says God only created so many perfect heads, and the rest he covered with hair.
What do you say if you are a fellow of that kind of? Do you have a saying? Because that kills me. I've never heard that one before. Chris
and Marianne, looking forward to your next adventure with Trudy. The next adventure is not going to be in Trudy. We're gonna go a bit more wild, but we'll come on to that. We're watching Itchy Boots. Norralie, we love Norralie. She's if you haven't seen Norralie, Itchy Boots. She's riding a motorbike across. She's on her way to Japan, I think, and she's currently riding across Iraq.
Yeah,
very interesting.
Yeah, honestly, she is so incredibly inspirational and fearless, and I absolutely love that.
Hi, Biddy. How you doing?
Itchy Boots. If you haven't already followed her, which I'm sure you have, or you've heard of her.
I think most people have heard of Itchy Boots. She's got millions of followers. She's an amazing woman.
Actually, somebody who put that they're watching it on the big screen. You can't subscribe to us from the TV. So if you wouldn't mind just going in.
Do you know, it's interesting, actually. 70% of people that watch our videos aren't subscribed because I think, how many of you watch it on the TV? I know like 60% of our views come from the TV. So I think a lot of you watch it on a Sunday on the big screen with a cup of coffee or a drink. And I think that's a thing. So there you go. It's a crazy number.
I know, it's a crazy
really number.
Donna from Northeast East Kingdom. Fantastic.
Marianne, you were fearless driving in India and Thailand. Wasn't it life-threatening? Yes. It was. And I have to be honest, I was screaming like a banshee in the passenger seat because I had no control.
It's harder for you.
You got no control. I'm like, watch out. There's a cow. There's a
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's very hard to sit.
It must be unnerving.
I mean, it must be unnerving. I wouldn't want to drive in it either. But it's like it is quite, it's quite a thing when you're driving. The worst I think was that driving through that market, I thought we were going to take out a couple of stands.
Really? I think for me, if anybody said to me, what is the worst experience? I think I do not like driving at night, if I'm honest. Just don't like it.
I keep expecting Marianne to throw a spoon at me. Why? She's telling me to shut up because I keep talking. Oh. Maybe. She loves it. She laughs when I'm like that.
I think for me, it's nighttime driving. I don't like nighttime driving. Driving in Georgia and Turkey, when I was on the mountain roads and there's a sheer drop, that was a little bit unnerving. But nighttime driving in India, when we first picked up Trudy, it was the first time I drove in India, and it was nighttime on Holy Weekend. It was a little bit intense.
Indian part of your journey was terrifying. I bet it was quite funny to watch though. Did you like watching the crazy drives?
Sid and Nicola.
Most scariest animal encounter.
We didn't really have any, did we? The squirrel.
The squirrel that came through the roof hatch. That was in Africa. I mean, when the leopard walked past in Kruger National Park, it was cool. It was like we were so excited there was a leopard, and then it was walking past like literally a few feet from Marianne. I was like, "Your window's open." You know, I mean, having your window open like that was a bit mad, but we just kept really still.
I didn't even think about it. It just all happened. The best animal encounter for me is when the mama elephant walked across the road with the baby elephant, and then I reversed Trudy, and the mama elephant stopped, and she just looked at me and she nodded, and then she just carried on, and the baby elephant was like, and his ears were out and his tail was up, and that was just incredible.
So Paul, what was stolen from Trudy? So it was interesting actually, because we locked under the bed, because there's a padlock storage under the bed. We locked as much as we could under there because it's really hard to get into. So we had to, when we pack, we always prioritize the valuables. Yeah. Obviously, we take the really expensive, the computers, the cameras, all of that kind of stuff we carry with us. And we prefer to leave the clothes and any tech and stuff. And you don't really realize what's missing until you look for it. But we worked out they probably stole £1,000 worth.
It was interesting because we've been packing for the next adventure, and the good news is I have to go back to Dalian to the dress shop with Maria, because my 2 dresses that I really like were stolen. So if that's not an excuse to go back to Dalian shopping,
so yeah,
I don't really know what it is.
So that they did that. Oh, Kathy's there. Hi, Kathy. How you doing? Kathy. African episodes were amazing. We need to do more of that.
What are your plans for 2020?
Where do you stock up? We just stock up as we need things. But it's the stupid thing is, like, when you're traveling in a van, like even boxes that fit in the cupboard, or little plastic containers, you've managed to find something over the years that fits perfectly in that cupboard space. So when even the containers were stolen, it's just super annoying. Like, they stole my underpants. I mean, who the hell steals my old boxer shorts? I mean, what the heck?
They weren't even good underpants.
So if anybody sees Tread the Globe undies on YouTube, please let me know. Disturbing, but possible.
Well, I think the reality is we don't have a lot of stuff. So when something goes, it's a little bit, irritating, but it's not life-threatening. It's definitely a first world problem, and we're very lucky and fortunate to be in a position where we can go shopping with Maria and buy new stuff. So we don't feel, sorry, it's just a nuisance, and you can't insure contents.
No, you can't. Only the vehicle.
Inside the vehicle is not insurable. It doesn't matter what anybody tells you, it's not insurable. Only if the vehicle sinks at sea.
I can see somebody's asking, are we going to, 2 in transit are asking, are we going to get our scuba gear out? We'll come on to that. There's a high probability, actually. Hi from Austin. What's the future plans? Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the plans. So you will have probably seen, I don't know whether you guys look at the YouTube community posts, but we do try and do like regular little updates on the community, on the YouTube community post and the Facebook page and etc. But the plan was we were going to go to New Zealand. Okay. And you'll hear me saying were, okay, because we'd always wanted to go to New Zealand, and we will go to New Zealand, but it's just been delayed a little bit. So the plan was we were gonna go and buy a cheap van or some kind of vehicle that we could sleep in.
Can I just at this point thank Joe and Mike from Nomad Life Kiwis, who were stepped up and offered us loads of help to go and look at vehicles.
They did.
Also, Carleen, Jeff, Jace, and family.
We'll come on to them.
Pals, in Wellington. So a massive thank you to you guys.
So the plan was to go to New Zealand. Aunt Judy was married to a couple of Kiwis. She was widowed twice, unfortunately. Not the same time. She was married to one who passed away, and she ended up marrying another one. So she spent many, many, many years farming and owning a hotel. One was a farmer, one had a hotel in New Zealand, and she'd always wanted to go to New Zealand. To see us go to New Zealand so she could relive it, because she's too old to travel and everything. And we were planning to do a real sort of off the beaten track. Let's see if we can, find some unique places and unusual places in New Zealand. And we were all geared up. And the flight from the UK to New Zealand is very far. Okay. So we decided it was about the same price, that if we flew to Malaysia, we could spend a week in KL, catch up with Natasha, our friend, and a few other friends there, eat some nice Malaysian food, and then carry on and book a flight down to New Zealand. So we booked the flight to Malaysia. That was the first point. And then we had a family member that ended up in hospital over here, which sort of put us on a side, which distracted us for a while. They are okay, but we were in and out of the hospital for 10 days. And the dogs, that's our friend who's living in the house dog, who's being very naughty, small but noisy. So that was the plan. That's Peanut, you're being noisy. Cute but noisy. Socks, you're not going to lift him up, that'll put your back out. Here's Socks. She is going to lift him up. Socks is a bit bigger.
He's a whippet, that's a sized dog. And he's lovely.
So there you go. So he's having a bit of an puppy energy burst. So anyway, so that was the plan. And then what happened was we had people, Joe and Mike and Carleen and everybody, we were looking at vehicles, sending them the details. They were going to look at them. We came very close to buying one.
Oh, yes.
And booking our flights and everything. And we would have if the relative hadn't been in hospital. So then we ended up, then one morning I woke up and I was like, I'm going to book the flights to New Zealand today. And I opened my emails and just did my morning little check online, as I always do. And there was an email from somebody who said, just to let you know, make sure you got the right visa, because there's a YouTuber that came over to New Zealand, filmed for his channel, and is being investigated, possibly prosecuted, and possibly may face deportation or whatever from New Zealand. So I was like, really? And I know, like, obviously we all earn money from social media. That's how we afford to travel, so that sort of pays, renting the house and YouTube and everything is paid for the journey. So I was like, well, we better check it out. So it might be fake news. So I Googled it. I looked online, and I found an article, and I watched some news reports on it and everything. I thought, no, it's actually true. So I thought, well, it's probably best to look online. So I went on the New Zealand immigration website. I looked. I couldn't see any mention about social media or anything. And working holidays are only for 30-year-olds and under. And although I know we're only just above that, we are not applicable to a working visa. So we decided to call
Mr. and Mrs. P. Thank you for the super chat. You've got to go home now. Go and take your daughter home, and
Merry Christmas to you, Mr. and Mrs. P. Thank you very much. Hope you have a good one.
Thank you for being a tribe member as well. We love you guys.
Thank you. So we ended up. So I emailed the New Zealand High Commission in London.
Yes.
And they came back and said they can't advise us on immigration issues, and that we had to contact an immigration office. And there isn't one in the UK, and they gave us the number of the one in New Zealand. So this is where Carleen comes in, who's a pen pal. We've never actually met her, but we've become friends.
She's my sister from another mister.
We've become friends online during COVID, and we've been sort of calling each other and hanging out online ever since. So she said, "Don't worry, I'll call New Zealand immigration, and we'll try and get to the bottom of it and find out which visa you need to apply for, just to make sure there's any confusion."
Yeah.
And annoyingly, they couldn't actually answer the question.
No.
They couldn't tell us which visa we needed to apply for, and said, well...
Actually, it was a little bit worse than that, because what they said is we can't tell you, but you should just pitch up on a tourist visa, but they might deny you entry, void your visa, turn you around on the spot at border and send you home. Now, obviously, as travel blogger, workers, YouTubers, we can't really afford for that to happen. So yeah, I mean, obviously any border officer, you know, when you come into a country, has the right to turn you away. That's their job. Yeah.
They vet you, they look at your passport, your visas or whatever, and they say, yes, you can come into our country, or no, you can't. But because we didn't know which visa to apply for, and because immigration couldn't tell us, and YouTube and this online thing is it's not a new thing, but I think as far as like visas and immigration is concerned, obviously New Zealand, it's the first case I've heard of a YouTuber actually needing a visa. I know some people have said Thailand you do, but I've looked online and it doesn't really state that. So it is a little bit confusing. There are digital nomad visas, which New Zealand is bringing one out later this year. So then we decided, look, if we buy a vehicle, if we fly there, all the expense, I mean, it is quite it's a big chunk of our money to be able to do that, because we were going to buy it and then try and sell it at the end, and we had some friends that were going to help us sell it at the end.
Who knows?
Or drive it home if we found the right vehicle. We said, look, we'll buy it and drive it home. But the visa thing scared us off a bit, and I think because we put ourselves online, you know, I know the chances are that if I did it, if we filmed in New Zealand, it's a 99% chance probably nobody would ever prosecute us or deport us or care.
As Carleen said, nobody cares about it, but it is a tick box exercise.
And because it's in the news at the moment that they're taking action against a YouTuber, if somebody said to New Zealand immigration, there's also this YouTuber from the UK filming, and they shouldn't be doing it.
We're online, and the reality is we do get haters sometimes.
And we always like to follow the rules if we can. We're British. Yeah. If you know British, we queue and we follow the rules.
Yeah. Generally,
not all the time. We never intentionally break the rules. So we wanted to do it right. So we haven't cancelled. We've delayed it.
Yeah.
So then we're faced with the fact that we have a flight to Malaysia, but we have to come up with a new plan. So that's what we've been working on the last week, because this all happened the last week. So we only had like 2 weeks, because our flight to Malaysia is on the 27th of December. We're flying off to Malaysia on Turkish Airlines. We're going Turkish Airlines, not sponsored.
But if you want to call me and upgrade me so I can turn to the left rather than the right, I'll be waiting for your call.
So that's where we are at the moment.
Yeah. I'm
going to dip into the questions if anybody's got any questions about that, and then we'll come on to what the plans are, and we'll thrash that out. Yeah. So let's have a look. If anyone's got any questions, whack them in there. Meanwhile, I'm going to say cheers. I hope you're all having a fabulous day and you've done all your Christmas shopping. I would be resting up after such a long trip. We've tried to rest, but we're not. We just never seem to sit. We've never seemed to stop. We're not very good.
We're just not those people. I think the problem we have as well is we've come home after renting our house out for nearly 7 years, and although our tenants were okay, the garden was Jumanji, and everything's just a little bit tired. So we've been working really hard to try and get it back. But it's not rent outable at the moment because there's so many little jobs that need doing, and she's not been loved. So we need to get our house back. So and we need to get it tip-top.
So Mr. P saying, did you see the article about going through New Zealand Tourism Board on your next attempt?
Yes, you sent it to us, and I did have a look at that. But obviously, it's our next attempt. That's definitely the route that we'll contact them. The only problem with that is, as you know, we like to do more off the beaten track, and tourist places aren't necessarily always where we go. We do dip into some, and we don't want to be those people that do the top 10 places to visit in Mexico, top 10 places to visit in New Zealand. We're not those people. We like meeting people, and often sort of like tourist boards organize things for you, and everything's laid on. So it doesn't always, you don't always meet the real people. You meet the real ambassadors for those people. So I will definitely look at that. But I think that New Zealand are going to end up making a content creator digital nomad visa for old people, I think.
So there you go. Hope you get to New Zealand one day. We will. We definitely will. Because it looks amazing and the nature there looks fabulous. So, and New Zealand's always been on my bucket list to go visit. So yes, we are coming to New Zealand, but just not this time. We just need them to sort their visas out, or at least tell us which one we need to apply. Would we visit Jamaica? Yes, one day, but not this upcoming trip. Have we said where we're going, Ria? No, we haven't yet. But we're going to come on to it in a second.
Actually, it's really interesting because all of the comments asking, are we going to here or there? The real answer is that is our plan until health takes us from, and I know I'm on Lemsip.
Somebody's just said, great to see Chris on the beer. Marianne's no wine.
No,
she's
I'm actually on Lemsip.
Getting over a cold. I'm
at the tail end of a cold, so I've got sort of like a heavy chest. So what we're going to do is, when we started this, we really had no idea what we were doing, and some days we still don't know what we're doing. But we do have a plan to try and visit as many, if not all, countries before we die, or die trying. That's actually how we started our channel.
There's a few dodgy ones at the moment, but see, Pants McBulge, what a name, Pants McBulge. That's quite a name. It should be a tourist visa unless you would be getting paid or employed by any employer or companies based in New Zealand.
That's what we thought.
Yes.
That's what we thought.
Because we pay our tax here in the UK, and the money is obviously not generated in New Zealand.
No, that's right.
But they were in the article. They were talking about, like, even if in a news thing I watched, it was talking about that if you actually do a video and include a restaurant in the video, maybe you went there. You know, sometimes they see you filming and they say, "Oh, have a complimentary pudding" or something. Yeah. You know, they do that sometimes.
Yeah.
That actually could be classed as a payment. And you're advertising a company. It's a little bit over the top, to be honest. But
yeah, and as Colleen said, no Kiwi will care about what you're doing, because part of the article was there might be Kiwi YouTubers that feel that you're taking their job, which is ridiculous. But it's just got to be thrashed out. And once it's thrashed out, we'll be on it like a car bonnet, because we want to go. Auntie Julia wants us to go. And to be honest, I was more scared that Auntie Julia would be upset with us, weren't you, that we weren't going to New Zealand, because that's what she wanted for us. Somebody
said, well, you consider showing videos of you doing your house up. But to be honest, it's probably pretty boring to watch. I mean, we're a adventure travel channel, so I'm sure nobody really wants to watch me doing the weeding or staining the fences. So that's why we haven't really shared that.
Iceland, definitely want to come to Iceland. Definitely.
The Far East.
Imi and Ava, big love.
In the front room.
And our other niece in the front room.
Antarctica. See, there's so much. Okay, yeah. I think we should just break it to them, because everybody's been very patient. No? You don't want to pay? How many thumbs up have we got? 68. So there's 578 people on this live chat, and there's only 68 thumbs up. So if you get it to 150, I'll tell you.
You know what we're going to say.
if you give it the thumbs up now. Come on, give us a thumbs up. Not in the comments, actually on the video at the bottom. Just
Pamela and Johnny's motorhome journeys. Hi guys. Yeah, we're definitely coming back to Ireland for sure.
Could you fill up a tour through Southeast Asia, Vietnam, Cambodia? Oh, that sounds amazing. And go to Aussie land instead.
Antarctica expedition.
I used to live in Australia. It was amazing.
Yeah. I definitely want to drive across Canada.
Thumbs up. You see, you're all giving me thumbs up in the comments, but you need to click the thumbs up on the video.
Although if you're watching it on the telly,
you can't. You can't actually. See, you're all watching on the telly, so you can't give us a thumbs up.
I don't know.
South Africa.
Definitely.
No, on the video. Yes, Maria, that's it.
Oh, she put.
There you go. Just done the thumbs up on the app from Waters Upton. Oh, Angie, are you in Waters Upton? You're just down the road from us. There you go. New Momods. You've got 365.
Oh, there you go.
This one's wrong.
It's not renewing. So it's us. It's not you.
There you go. You're all doing it. Oh, we've got 418 now.
Okay,
Thanks, guys. Hey, from Telford, Glenn. We're also in Telford. You can like and sub on the TV. See, I'm not really up to date with the TV viewing, obviously being in the van.
That's great.
So there you go. Thanks, guys. You're giving us loads of thumbs up now.
That's lovely.
I feel like it's happening. Okay, so let's
do it.
Let's talk about it. So we've got the flight to KL. Are you ready? Because this is the drum roll. So we thought.
Hold on.
So we thought we would stick to that part of the world because obviously we've already bought the flights there. And then we thought, how can we do something really adventurous? It's a bit unusual because obviously we're a bit nuts and we like to get off the tourist beaten path. So we've decided that we're going to fly to Kota Kinabalu in northern Borneo.
Somebody's just put Borneo.
And we are going to this is the plan. We're going to try and buy a 4x4 vehicle in Borneo and explore Sabah, Brunei and Sarawak and really try and get off the beaten path. Not the tourist places, like try and get to some remote villages. I've seen a couple of really fascinating tribes that you can go and visit.
Pants McBulge said we have to climb Mount Kinabalu.
We've done it.
We've actually done it a long time ago.
But what's really good is I found an old hard drive in the attic, and the video footage is probably really bad quality because it was like 10, 12 years ago. But I have video proof of us climbing Kinabalu, so I might actually put that in the video, or I might actually share that as a little bonus video.
Oh, you should.
Maybe
you
on the Facebook page or something.
Yeah, or just add it into the video to show that we're.
I'll do it on the video, definitely.
In fact, when you climb Mount Kinabalu, you've got 2 certificates. If you make it all the way to the top, they give you a colour certificate, and if you only
you're still there,
you get a black and white certificate, and we got a colour certificate. We did nearly die.
I love this travel plan. Hi from South Africa. I saw Zimbabwe. Carry plenty of fuel. Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting because obviously we haven't got Trudy. Trudy is our home on wheels that we travel around with. I know we've taken our house back. We're in it.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting. So we're going to buy a 4x4. Obviously, Borneo, Malaysia is very hot. It's rainforest, jungle. Yeah, it's going to be very
Mum
humid.
Says, what are you looking at all the time? I've actually got my laptop here so I can see the comments because I've got bifocals on, so I can't see the comments over there where you are. So I have to look there. Sorry.
Nothing interesting, I'm afraid. Yeah.
It's nothing interesting.
She's just looking at the comments at the side. So Borneo is going to be fascinating. So we're going to get a 4x4. If we can find a reasonably good condition 4x4, I have a future plan, you see, because Sabah, we've been to Sabah many times. You may have seen the videos. In fact, if you go back to our early videos, I'm terribly sorry about the quality and they are completely nuts, but we did a whole series. It was my first videos really was a family holiday to Borneo, and we were all very silly on it. And it was good for Marianne's sister.
She cringes every time she says, "Oh no, somebody's going to watch it."
Somebody's going to watch it. So yeah, it is cringeworthy, but it was great fun. And
but we flew from location to location. Where this time,
yeah. And if you remember when we were in Malaysia on the around the world drive, my niece Molly flew over. We went over there. We showed her a bit. I didn't film too much of it, but I put it on the videos. But this time we're really thinking about getting off the beaten path. So the scuba gear will be coming out because they've got some of the best diving in the world. but also they've got some of the oldest rainforests in the world. So we'll get down the river, find some nature. I would love to try and see the life of some of the old traditional tribes, the headhunters.
Somebody's just actually you haven't got like a channel name, but they've put Dayak tribe in Mulu, so I'll Google that later and see.
Tribe in Mulu.
But yeah,
okay.
If you are in Borneo, in Sabah, Sarawak, and Brunei, do message us if you've got any things that would be really interesting for us.
Yeah, chris@treadtheglobe.com is my email.
Yeah.
And do message us because, or if you want to meet up or you want to show us your village, your this, your that, if you're from Borneo. But then I'm hoping, you see, that the vehicle, I saw a couple of comments there saying get a Toyota. Ian said Toyota Land Cruiser or Hilux is probably the best overland vehicle you can get. If we can find an old one, the plan is we're going to be there for 3 months. You're allowed to travel to Malaysia for 90 days. But our son is actually getting married in the UK in April.
Yes.
First one to get married. So we have to obviously come back for that. So January, February, March is going to be in Borneo. End of March we fly back to the UK, where we'll spend a month or a couple of weeks for the wedding. And then
the videos will still be coming out.
The videos will still be coming out, so don't worry. And then we're planning a trip in Trudy somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere nearby for the next few months. So we'll come up with a plan with that. And then after that, we're not sure. We do have some ideas for a crazy big adventure, like multiple year adventure.
But we're not sure on that.
But we're not sure on that. I'm not going to tell you any more on that, but I'm just saying there's stuff in the planning. So it's there's plenty more to come from Tread the Globe. Now we've rejuvenated our batteries a little bit. Toyota is the best. It's interesting actually, because it doesn't matter where we travel in the world. I mean, outside Europe, we never saw another Fiat apart from what were the little ones? Picantos.
No.
That's
you've got
Kia.
the little Mazda Bongos.
No, the Fiats. What's the little Fiat we saw? Fiat 500s.
Oh, Fiat 500.
Yeah, those are the only Fiats we saw. No, those are the only Fiats we saw. Is what I'm saying. So
in Brazil, they have Trudis apparently.
Toyota across
Thanks,
Russia.
John and Fiona.
I'm not sure we'd get a visa for Russia at the moment with the world situation.
I think you still can, but the reality is
China is on my bucket list.
Yeah, yes. we don't want to put ourselves in a situation where it becomes an issue for our government or blah, blah, blah. So there are hundreds of countries that we can go on an adventure. So that's our plan. But yes.
So Kathy's asking, Kathy is a member, a Tread the Globe member on our website. And she's saying, what about the holiday that the members trip we were planning for Turkey?
Yes.
So we're actually slightly rethinking that at the moment, Kathy. And because we're going to Borneo, we are thinking, this is very provisional and this is like obviously live, but we are thinking we might be able to plan while we're there. We could research, but we're thinking of planning and launching a Tread the Globe trip to Borneo. So maybe 12 or 14 of you could come on an adventure around Borneo, reefs, rainforests, jungle, a bit of everything. You wouldn't have to be fit for it, but this is very early days. So this is me talking talking off the cuff. But I'm thinking that maybe September, October next year, once we've done it and we've researched it, that we might be able to take if a group of you want to come on a trip with us around Borneo, we
will be doing a trip to Turkey, but that's again, stay tuned on the Facebook, the members Facebook, because you'll hear about that first.
Yeah, we'll do that. It's quite hard to organise. So watch this space, members. You'll be the first to know. If you didn't know, we do have a membership on our website. We do exclusive 360 videos. I'm doing a little bit of a plug. It's only £5 a month. But if you want to give it as a Christmas present or somebody, but yeah, we do. We're winding down our Patreon. We decided to create our own members club on our website because it just means that we can do it, and we do monthly hangouts on the private Facebook group and stuff. So it's like this, but it's a bit more personal with us. You need to be a bit fit in Borneo jungle. Laugh out loud. Are you saying I'm not fit? What are you saying?
It's interesting. You can do it. You can do it like super fit hiking, 5 days of 100% humidity and everything else. Or you can actually do it a little bit. If we did a group tour, we would actually cater it for anybody, like sort of middle of the range fitness. We're not going to take Maliau Basin. We would literally
probably go
not climb
Kinabatangan,
Mount Kinabalu, but we would go to KK and we would go to Semporna and we might go to the tip of Borneo. So there will be other things as well. But that's
some
where
of the
we
diving
need to
islands.
go.
We need to research
we
it.
need
really.
to go and see what's available.
We've actually we've been there on holiday a lot of times for diving. But like I say, we've never really got off the beaten track.
No.
Now, as far as the vehicle, it's not going to be a camper van. It's going to be a 4x4. We might be able to find a rooftop tent for it, but the plan at the moment is we'll be driving it into remote places and finding, I suppose, a bit like Itchy Boots if you watch her. You know, we'll be finding little places and houses, and if anybody invites us to stay over, or you know, we'll just take it as it comes. So it's a bit of a last minute plan.
I want to be Jane of the Jungle and like sleep in a treehouse. I don't know. I think that's part of the excitement, isn't it? If you have it all planned out, you can't really doesn't really get all your excitement going, does it? So that's for me. That's why I want to just go.
Swedish chef. Yeah, we follow Norralie and keep up with her travels. We love her. She's great. Itchy Boots. Yeah. See, everybody, you know, if you haven't seen Itchy Boots, you're missing out. Yeah. She's great fun.
She's awesome.
She's absolutely barking. My kind of girl. There you go. Christmas to you. Happy Christmas to you all. Happy Christmas to you. Have you seen those Happy Days 4x4 with a demountable body? Yes, we have. They're heading up to the Arctic. We've looked. We're thinking, the next vehicle. We're having so much discussion. We'll do a whole live chat on the next vehicle, because there's so much. The future adventures. We're pretty sure we need a 4x4 to do what we're planning to do.
Yeah.
And van wise, 4x4 truck camper. I don't know. But there'll be a plan. But for those of you that are wondering about Trudy is still she's still good. She's had new shocks when she arrives, new bits and pieces. She's doing all right. There's still some
They've done her
holes
now.
There's still some holes in her from the Korean shipping forklift incident.
But whilst we're in Borneo, Mike has got the spare set of keys and he's actually going to come and get Trudy and take her into the workshop. Tez is going to do all the welding underneath. They're also going to put a new ox belt, and they're going to just basically go in, have a look and try and get all the engine stuff done. So she'll be looked after with them.
Norlie's heading to Japan. She is heading to Japan, as far as I know.
Japan was epic, wasn't it? We did love.
We're in Zimbabwe the same time as Ross. We must have missed each other. It's a great place. We loved it there.
Camper, you can subscribe on the TV. I do it all the time.
There you go. I don't really watch YouTube on the telly. It's always on my laptop.
Yeah, Land Rover.
Apparently they're bringing out a new feature though next year, where it's going to look more like Netflix on the telly. You know, where you can see like series episodes. It's going to look pretty well exactly like Netflix, with a trailer at the top of each thing, and it's going to play. I've seen previews of that, so that's quite exciting. Could you do more driving in India and Pakistan? Did you like that, Pat? Did you like the crazy driving?
I like the when you come to ship home, use a shipping container, custom sealed and safe. We would have Trudy, but she's a little bit too tall.
The flat rack, like we did in Korea, and it's very expensive. But you see, what they do is they put the flat rack on top of 3 containers, so nobody can get into it because it's too high.
Yeah.
And we keep the keys. But roll on, roll off is cheap, you know, compared to, it's probably half the price of a flat rack.
Yeah.
But it's your stuff gets stolen. But the £1,000 stolen is probably still less than the extra cost of putting it on a flat rack. So it's a hard one. Driving through the towns was so cool. Yeah, and we're going to be doing that in Borneo. We're going to be going to find some really remote places in Borneo. How many of you have been to Borneo? Have you been to Borneo before?
Yeah, Trudy is
Sarawak,
drive.
Sabah, Brunei. No, never been. it's I don't know if Marianne's heart or Chris's heart can take crazy driving like that. I know it was very stressful. Like the Georgian road. So how many of you, if you haven't seen the videos in Georgia, you've got to go back and watch some of those roads in Georgia.
Somebody's asked whether we got any money back from the insurance after the big theft. No, you don't get any money back from stuff that's stolen from the inside. It's only if it's damaged on the outside or if the boat sinks.
Never been to Asia, but want to go. Brunei. Oh yeah, love Borneo. We did it 10 years ago. Loved it immensely. China, motorbike.
Oh, Traveller's Cookbook. How are you doing? Yeah, it was lovely.
It's like the roads in Indiana.
Yeah.
I've only ever been to Fort Wayne, Indiana, years ago as a kid. I went to Traveller's Cookbook. Wow, that sucks. So yeah, haven't been but planning on it. So yeah, we'll hopefully be planning a trip there next year.
Yeah.
We were thinking, and you see, if the vehicle that we buy is good, and it lasts for 3 months, and we manage to get a reasonable Toyota or something, we can try and leave it with friends because we've got a few friends in Borneo that we know, and if we can leave the vehicle with them, we might be able to go back at a later date, and then do Indonesian Borneo, which is even more unusual. I don't really know anybody that's done Indonesian Borneo.
No, I've never been there. But that's another adventure.
After Borneo, everywhere else is a bit of a letdown.
In my opinion.
Well, it depends. I mean, every country is different, isn't it? I mean, I'm sure Iceland and Africa and South America and Central America and does Trudy fit into a container? No, she doesn't.
Yeah. I went in a 4x4 in Sarawak into the jungle when it was raining. Very scary.
Oh, wow. So there you go. Mud roads. There's a few, it should be dry season. It's coming into dry season now.
Yeah.
So January, February is normally their best weather, but it is a rainforest, so it rains. You know, it is rain. Hopefully we don't get stopped by the police again.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, for those of you that watched our videos there, that was an interesting experience, but I won't go into that too much. Georgia road trips were awesome.
Yeah.
We were on the edge of your seats.
I absolutely loved it.
It was actually, I love those roads. To be honest, I don't at the time. I have to be honest, like those roads in Georgia, when we met the car coming the other way and it was just a mud road, the width, and there's a cliff on one side and a drop on the other. If you haven't seen those videos, go back to Georgia. I think the thumbnails got like a yellow warning triangle on it. If you watch that video and the one where it says Google says 5.5 hours, and in reality it took us 2 days. That video as well. The roads were just nuts.
It was technical
absolutely
driving,
nuts
for sure. Have you thought of going to the stands? Mongolia is incredible. They were actually on the initial route of 20 countries in 20 months on the drive around the world, but due to COVID, we couldn't. But I would love to go. That would be absolutely top of the list as well. There's so many. So places.
Ian, make sure that the vehicle's got a good resale value. Yeah. We need to, so we don't lose too much money. We won't buy a really expensive vehicle. We'll just buy. Wasn't the T road the most crazy?
It was.
The T road was up there. It was so narrow. That was our first crazy road, actually. The T road in Turkey.
Having experienced both, would Marianne choose crazy roads or crazy drivers? Definitely crazy roads.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, crazy roads.
We're so unpredictable.
The crazy drivers
are coming at you.
Marianne's like, let's do a series on driving the world's most dangerous roads, and I'm like, I researched it a bit, and the guy in the vehicle in front died. I'm like, are you mad? You know,
it wasn't me.
Yeah, those dangerous roads are dangerous for a reason, because you know people do go off the edge, don't they? Sometimes.
Valen4 has said, what would you say was your favorite country you visited in terms of visual beauty?
Beauty.
And if it wasn't in the UK, not thinking of visa issues, etc., where would you choose to live? I would always choose to live at home because family is where home is. And you must go over and watch the Frankie and Alex videos because we've never really fanned the UK. And
we haven't really.
Epic. We had so much fun.
Yeah.
And although we can't get the off-roading adventure and getting to meet new cultures and sort of like languages and food here in the UK, because obviously this is the UK, I absolutely loved it. And in fact, we went with a mini break. We went for a mini break with our son and it was in the UK. So I would absolutely recommend coming to the UK for mini breaks or holidays. Just choose your weather.
Yeah.
Or wear appropriate clothing.
Can you lease a new one? We don't want a new van. I think where we go and the places we go, I don't think we really want a new van.
No.
I did see an interesting question. Traveller's Cookbook said, what's the why of your lifestyle? Why do we do what we do? Well, it's interesting, actually.
Very interesting question.
In a nutshell, I'll keep it short, but in a nutshell, we lost a few friends. And I think you reach that age when you realize you're not going to live forever. And you realize that life is for living. And I think when you hit your mid-40s, you realize that time is limited. When you're like in your 20s and 30s, you think you're going to live forever and it doesn't really matter.
But it's all the memes online that say, oh, life is for living. Yeah, one life, live it. But they're real.
It doesn't hit home until something happens, I think.
Yeah.
And so we lost a few friends. You probably all know that Marianne's one of our best friends got sick and she ended up donating a kidney to her best friend. And I got diagnosed with high blood pressure and I had a stressful job. And we just sat down and I said, you know what? We might not be here next year, 5 years, 3 years, whatever. And I don't want any regrets because I'm never going to be on my deathbed wishing that I've got more money or a bigger house or a better car or nicer clothes. I want to be on my deathbed laughing about the time we drove that road in Georgia, laughing about the time we spent 6 weeks in a garage in Vancouver. And so we just decided that, you know, the plan was always to retire early. But then when we actually sat down, I was like, if we rent the house and if we sell everything in the house and sell the car and sell my motorbike and do all this stuff, I'll have enough money to buy the van. You know, Trudy was £18,500 pounds. So if we sell everything in the house, and we literally sold it pretty well everything, apart from, you know, the stuff that you keep because it's sentimental or stuff. We got rid of most of the stuff, and then we rented the house out, and we just thought we'll start traveling, and we worked it out financially. But the plan was we bought Trudy because we thought we'd stick around Europe. There was never a plan to drive around the world. That kind of happened. We did Europe for, I don't know, 3-4 months. And then we went backpacking around Central America.
We started in Ireland.
We did a month in Ireland, 3 months in Ireland, which was amazing. Then we did a few months around Europe. Then we went and did 5 months backpacking Central America. They're great videos.
Yeah,
and it was a great
Ireland,
time.
I loved Ireland.
Ireland, Central America, that was all fabulous.
Yeah.
And then we started having this big idea going, I wonder if we can just drive around the world. Because everybody was like, well, how many countries have you been to? And we were like, this is our first one in Ireland. And on the side of the van, it says, you know, sort of like we quit the 9 to 5 to travel the world. And they were going, oh, you've only done one. So we were like, but they're going, you're driving around the world. And we were like, no. But then we processed it and thought, well, maybe we actually could. Let's see if we can get Trudy around the world. And it was mad. We ended up shipping more than we planned, but the world kept changing. So yeah, it was. You've missed the Ireland ones. Yeah, the Ireland videos go back to almost a bit. So like the videos, like right back at the beginning was our first trip to Malaysia. Yeah. Borneo. We went on a family holiday to see the orangutans, and we went scuba diving. That was to
learn how to turn a camera on, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a GoPro 4 that I never filmed before. I practiced doing that, and then we came back, and then we were still working then, and then we quit work, got the house ready to let the house, bought the van. And then we did 3 months Ireland, 3 months Europe, mainly catching up with friends and family that we'd never had time to see, and then 5 months Central America because we couldn't afford. We bought the flights because a friend invited us, and we were like, well, if we go there, we've got to stay there because I can't afford to fly there and fly back. So we flew there, stayed for 5 months because then your rental of the house you recoup it so you can get back. You know, so
and we
it
slept
makes
in
it worth
hostels, and one of the
$10 a night. Oh my
funniest
goodness.
night, $10 with breakfast, which was dreadful. But we had bunk beds, and Chris was like, I can't sleep in the top bunk, and I was like, no, I'll do it. I love bunk beds. And of course, in the middle of the night, I forgot to turn my phone alarm, my ringer off. My dad rang because he got confused with the time zone, and I just jumped out of bed, forgetting that I was on the top bunk. I nearly broke my legs.
She did.
I woke the whole hostel up. Everybody came running because they were all worried that I'd killed myself. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it was
hilarious. It hurt, but it was hilarious.
I think our budget was $25 a day, including accommodation and transport. So we were eating literally like beans and rice. And in fact, I remember distinctively being in Antigua in Guatemala, and I looked at my phone and I went, "You're never going to believe it." And Marianne was like, "What?" I went, "We've just earned $1 from YouTube. Google's paid us $1." And I was so excited going, can you imagine if they actually gave us $10 a day so that we could pay for our accommodation? It would be life-changing. And
we sat with our feet in the gutter in Antigua, holding a coffee, one coffee, sharing it, and we have not looked back. That was like a catalyst moment for us, because it validated why we're doing it and why we're working for 2 years to get this one coffee, and it was the best coffee ever.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It was just incredible.
You know, and I get a lot of messages from people going, "How did you start YouTube? Were you a filmmaker before?" and blah blah blah. No, I never picked up a camera before. It was all learnt from YouTube and practice, and it's not easy, and you make loads of mistakes, and it's just a big learning curve, but it's great fun.
Yeah.
And you know, we just started with a GoPro, and that was it. And now, yeah.
And we meet a lot of YouTubers on the road, and we say that if we can do it, we're literally hapless grandparents. I didn't even have a Facebook page before we started this. We're still learning. We're work in progress.
But it's not like we're not telling everyone to quit your job, sell your house, and sell everything. We kept our house so that if it all went wrong, we had a backup plan. But I think the message is that if you knew you were dead in 5 years' time, would you change your life? That's what I say to people. And most people go, yeah, of course. And I'm going, well, why aren't you changing your life now?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you know, you only get one life as far as we know. So
it was interesting though. We actually had a guy, we were sat, I think we were in South Korea, and he said to me, I realized listening to you, you can make more money, but you can't make more time. And that was a real...
Yeah, no, exactly. Richard, I saw Richard. Hi, Richard. You missed the first hour of it. Will you put it on YouTube afterwards? Yes, all of our lives we put on YouTube afterwards, so you can watch it afterwards. How did I learn to edit? Practice.
Logistics, vehicle, and health insurance. So the vehicle insurance you tend to buy on the border. If you're shipping in, then you ask the shipping agent to help you find a contact. Some places we found they don't have a contact because, like, for example, South Africa, it's not a legal requirement to have insurance. So then you have to start the research. Logistics, again, research. It's and health insurance, we use World Nomad for an annual policy, and then Safety Wing, we top up with any countries.
Safety Wing's good in an emergency if you just need a month or something goes wrong. Mr. P's laughing. Cheese on toast days. See, he's been watching. So there was a time we were in Honduras, and there was protests, and we got stuck at this service station.
Manifestations.
We were in this little, I don't know, 10-seater little transport thing with some other Westerners, you know, Americans or whatever they were, driving across Honduras. We were going from Honduras to El Salvador, I think.
There's a video.
And there's a video on the way to Utila. And we got stuck at this station. We were there for hours.
Yeah, waiting
like
for a connecting
5 hours
bus.
Because of the manifestations. We all got stuck there. And I saw it on the old Budgeteers videos. Paddy, if you saw our videos with Paddy, he used to have a channel called the Budgeteers. And they used to they sung a song, I think it was the Cheese on Toast. And you have to sing any song, but you can only use the words cheese on toast, and the other person's got to get it. It was really silly and really bad. But that just shows, Mr. P, you've been watching our channel for far too long.
Thank you. Michelle B said, how did you learn to edit videos and all of that?
Practice.
He literally went to YouTube and says, how do I edit videos? and watched every tutorial under the sun. He also signs up to courses online.
I study a lot.
I study a lot.
Every day I do
works
something.
his little socks off, bless him. When people say, "Oh, Marion does everything," I'm like, I just drive. He does all of Tread the Globe. Without him, it would be dead in the water.
We make a good team.
We do.
Because if I'm driving, I can't film properly, and if we swap, it just goes wrong. But I've been driving, and in fact, on Frankie and Alex's on the FNA road trip we did with them, I drove Trudy the whole way. So if for those of you that are like, Chris, can you drive? Yes, I can. It took me a while to remember how to drive after not driving for so long.
Derek said, how much would you say it cost you for a day when you were traveling around the world? That's almost impossible to
really
answer.
Hard.
Depending on which country, the cost of the petrol and the food. Also, if you don't have much money that month, because we literally budget by that as well.
Well, you never really know how much YouTube's going to pay you.
Yeah, it's so we'll drive slower, or we'll drive through the night if we need to get somewhere. And
see, like countries, if you're able to sleep in the van, it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
So like, you know, when we were in the US and Canada and Turkey and
Europe,
Japan, Europe, you know, we slept every night in the van. We never went. We very rarely went to a campsite.
Yeah.
And obviously that saves you a lot of money. But then, you know, also, countries like India when it was 47 degrees outside, Malaysia with the humidity, Thailand was too hot. You can't. If you're in a vehicle without aircon at night or a fan, you know, a max fan or something, it's just too hot. You can't, you know, it's bad for you. Hence the fact, you know, there was times when we both of us nearly passed out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as well, if your vehicle, as Chris just said, is off-grid ready, or do you need to go into a campsite and plug in? And then so with that, research how much is the average price of a campsite. Also, is it legal to wild camp in that country that you're planning on going to visit? Because some countries it's not. So do research.
Nana on the Run, were you part of Lost LeBlanc's YouTube training? Yes, I was. When we were in the car park in Istanbul, so I've been making videos for probably 2 years, and I signed up. I think we had about 40,000 followers when I signed up to Christian's course. So if you're a travel video editor, Christian LeBlanc, Ross LeBlanc, he's got like a training thing.
Yeah.
And it's very good. Teaches you cameras, how to do this and how to film and how to edit. It's a really good tutorial. It's a really good kind of thing. The only advice I would give that I've learned over the years is that take advice from people that know.
Yes.
So, like, obviously, Christian's got 2 million followers or whatever, so he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But when you join a community or you make friends, people advise each other based on their knowledge.
Yeah.
But if they've just started or made 5 videos and they're telling you how to do it, take it with a pinch of salt because they don't know. So, take it from somebody. If I knew what I knew now, like it took us months to get monetized, or to get that first 1,000 subscribers took ages, you know, and it took 2 years to earn a penny from YouTube. But that's because I didn't really understand it. And if I started it now, I could probably do it in a month or so. But we're not going to start another channel. I'm not starting another channel. But what I'm saying is, with the advice of what you know through experience, you know, comes that. But things like the Lost Creator Academy is a great place to learn and meet like-minded people.
So yes, Sedona, Arizona. If we come back, and we are planning on coming back to North America for sure, we've got a couple of very, very big trips.
Jenny's daughter has 2 million on YouTube. Well, she's definitely doing something right.
She knows what she's
doing. Because most YouTubers never even make it to 100,000. So you got to be very open-minded and keep learning. Hi from Manavgat. Hi, Manavgat. Wow. Hope you're looking after that beach and them turtles. Go down and give Sahar some love. Yeah. But I hope you're okay after we heard you had bad storms. So I hope you're all right.
Why don't you do north to south trip in Vietnam? That is in the bucket for sure. Greetings from Zimbabwe.
You should get somebody to write several travel books about your adventures.
Hi,
there
Kate,
you go.
From Southampton.
I'm actually planning on writing a book myself.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people say just hire a ghostwriter to write the book, but I don't think it's the same because I have so much in my head, my thoughts on how I felt at the time, that it needs to come from us. I think we do work with an editor. If it used to take me 2 days to edit a video probably, and it still takes me 2 days to edit a video. And I have an editor, but the difference is that Ariana, she does like lots of trimming of the clips. I still put the story, still do the voiceover, still plan the story and the flow and everything else and the music. But she'll edit. She saves me a day. She saves me a day a week. But we used to do 2 videos a week, and now we do 1 because I learned it's probably better to make a nicer, longer video rather than just trying to. You get caught on this wheel of YouTube where you just try and bang videos out because you need the money to keep traveling.
Can Maria and Brian put your YouTube name for your animal and pet content? Jenny the Pooh, her daughter, she says her daughter does pet and animal content. So does Maria and Brian. And they've just started their new YouTube channel. So Maria and Brian,
Jenny, what's your daughter's name?
Please,
daughter's name.
Please put your name down there so they can have a look. Lynn from New Zealand. We're coming at some point.
Sorry. In case you missed it, we're off to Borneo.
Any top tips for starting out on YouTube? We're 2 vans travel, currently in Spain, heading to Morocco next week, trying to figure out on social media. Just want to encourage people to step outside.
Do you know the best advice I could give about YouTube is, first of all, just make content.
Yeah, practice.
Don't worry what people think. Just make the content and put it out there.
Yeah.
But then after a while, you have to try and work out. Everybody says that YouTube's saturated, right? It is. There's millions of channels, but there's only one you. There's no other you. And your views, opinions on life and what you show people from your perspective is unique to everybody else's. You know.
Yeah.
So just do it, and you'll find your own way. And but the hardest thing is, and there's no quick. You don't just put a video out there and it just happens.
No.
You know. But surround yourself with like-minded people
that will criticize your videos and say, "What are you doing?" Because I'd like to thank Maria and Brian, our friends, because regularly they go, "Nope, people don't want to hear that. People want to hear that."
We have a creator group that we meet every week, and we talk about ideas and this and that, and it's important.
Oh, Hobo Harry, how are you doing?
How you doing?
Oh.
Merry Christmas to you. And Liv, hope you're doing good. We must catch up next time we're down south.
Oh yeah, hi, big love to Liv.
Yeah.
So yeah, we always say just go for it and just try. It's not easy, and it's not a pity party saying that. It is hard work, but it's the best job.
It's the best job, and
we love it.
We're privileged to go.
Yeah.
You know, so we like to go to those places that you don't normally go to, and we like to self-drive or self. So that's really what we're about.
I think we love people as well, don't we?
Yeah.
We love
meeting locals.
I love. It's like the lady in the garage. I don't know her name because I met her briefly, who said, "I love you." And I just cried because meeting, I love meeting other women about my age who have lived their life through their thing. I just absolutely love people and the world. I just do.
Yeah. Richard's saying he loves our channel. Yeah, thank you. I know you've watched all the videos, Richard, so thank you for that. Nice to see you. Yeah, if you've joined us later on in our adventure, I think there's 670 videos, and I'm finally figuring out what I'm doing now.
Dave,
it's taken a while.
Jan, yes, this video will be left up, so you'll be able to catch up with what we're doing.
Please plug your Patreon info. So we do have Patreon, although we're winding Patreon down. If you go to treadtheglobe.com, you will see there's a members section on there. It doesn't cost a lot of money. In fact, there's a free membership level of £5 and a £10.
Yeah.
And you get monthly hangouts with us. You also get
a free weekly newsletter on the first level. And once we start traveling again, have we said when we're going?
Yeah. And there's also, we also do 360 videos. So you get to travel with us, which we only put on for our members. It's a little bit of a bonus thing. Very raw. We just take the camera
and there might be the odd
and, so yeah, so if you do want to hang out with us on a bit of a more of a personal level, then don't go to Patreon. Go over to treadtheglobe.com and sign up there. But we'd love to have you as part of our little community.
Trudy's fine. When you watch this video back, you'll hear she's had some work done, and while we're away in Borneo, she's actually being picked up by Mike, Tez and Simon, and they're going to be taking her into the shop and getting some more work done on her. So she'll be ready for when we get back, and we're going to go off and do a road trip.
It's going to be funny filming again. It's been so long since I've filmed. It's going to be strange. So yeah, we're flying out on the 27th, and we'll share the journey over there. We're going to spend a couple of days in KL. We won't film too much the journey in KL because obviously you've all seen it, but we'll take you on a little bit around Kota Kinabalu in Borneo and hunting for the vehicle and seeing what we can find.
But if you do want to see the behind the scenes stuff, obviously on the tribe members page on Facebook and also in the newsletter, because I'm going to have a wedding outfit made because our son's getting married. So I need to have an outfit. So our lovely friend Natasha is taking me shopping for Mother of the
John's just joined. Welcome, John. There you go. Oh. So if you go onto Facebook, there'll be a Tread the Globe members only page. You'll see it on the dashboard when you sign up to your membership. There's a little there's a tab there. If you click it, it takes you straight to the Facebook page.
Yeah, and we made the website with our friend Erhan. So if you have any problems with it, just message us at Chris.
Well, Patreon, like everybody uses Patreon, but it's so hard to manage. Like, it's just not easy. So I just thought we'll just try and make our own. So we have. Yeah. And it's so far so good. It's working. Safe travels back to KL and Borneo. There you go. Oh, so do you guys miss the wild animals in Africa? Africa was amazing. The nature was amazing.
Yeah.
We will definitely go back, and we'll definitely do a trip probably maybe to Botswana or South Africa or Zimbabwe. I don't know.
Absolutely.
It was all good.
Loved Africa. And the whole thing of Mama Africa is true. It is
magical.
Just magical.
It's just really something about it. Like,
it really is magical. I loved it. Yeah,
next destination, Cape Town. We're coming to Cape Town.
We are coming. And we are coming back to Turkey.
Absolutely. We are definitely coming to Turkey.
Absolutely.
I've got to get the roof hatch fixed on Trudy because my washing up bowl that I super glued on in India.
We need to come and have breakfast with Victoria and Ursula and Elif and Tolga and Avni and Sybil and go and hug Sarah.
Absolutely
and
amazing.
Centre, and we can't wait.
Hi, Donna and Orhan in Scotland. I think it's a bit blowy up there at the moment.
Did you see the videos with Frankie and Alex and us traveling? It was very interesting because my mum passed away when I was little, so I didn't know a lot about her, but I am part Scottish, part Irish, part English, and apparently there's a dash of Cornish in there. So I'm a complete mongrel. So it was lovely going with Frankie and Alex to Scotland and to Wales. Oh, there's a bit of Welsh apparently. I'm a complete mongrel. And I absolutely loved traveling with them and not filming. And actually,
it was really relaxing. It felt like a holiday.
They did all the work and we got to be on their videos.
Although we moved pretty fast.
We moved super fast.
We moved really fast because they came over for a 6-week trip. But by the time we were trying to organise the party and we got inundated, like I said, with interviews and this, etc., that we didn't have much time. And we were like, well, okay, we just got to go. So after the party, we literally just left.
Yeah.
Any trip to the US, Texas? There will be. We've driven through Texas. If you haven't seen the videos, they're on there. But yeah, we'll be back through the States at some point. But I have no idea when. So
we've got a few big trips. Big trips. But right now we're going to do 3 months in Borneo and Malaysia. And dipping into Brunei. Then we're going to come back and do 3 months with Trudy somewhere in Europe. We'll share more with that on the Facebook group first because we're planning that. And then
and if you want to come on the trip to Borneo, keep an eye. We'll post some And we'll do some meetups. If you're watching from Malaysia, although it's probably about 2 o'clock in the morning over there now, because I think they're 8 hours ahead. Or if you're watching it on the replay, we'll do a meetup in KL again, like we did last time.
But the free weekly newsletter, if you sign up for that, that will give what we're up to next week. It's been a bit lackadaisical because obviously we haven't been traveling and we've had rather a lot going on. But yes, I will be back next week with more plans and what we're getting up to and where we'll be. So yeah, that will be fun. A Frogster battery.
Hi Tanner, how you doing? Good morning. He's just woken up.
I don't know what a Frogster battery is, but thank you. I'll have a look at that. SL Abbey, nice. I really want to visit the UK. I watch so many content creators now based there. Never thought I'd dream of going farther than
the UK. If you do a road trip around the UK, it's great. And don't just do. I mean, London and Stonehenge, and like get out. Like when we took Frank and Alex, they didn't want to go just to the main sort of place that everybody goes to, so we took them a bit.
Yeah, have a look at Frankie and Alex's videos. It's F&A Van Life, and
like
you'll
N,
see
like the letter.
F small n and
you'll see us causing havoc,
and they'll show you a little bit of going off the beaten track. It was just fantastic. They're so wholesome, aren't they? I really loved going out with a family and they're just fun.
How did you feel when people in Africa just couldn't believe what's inside Trudy? It's funny because in Africa, John, there's loads of overland vehicles. Like literally, South Africa's really geared up for truck campers and things like that. But I don't think they've ever seen Trudy. Like this flowered van covered in stickers, and they open it. Like the policewoman in Zimbabwe that came in, if you haven't seen that video, was just classic. It was just like, I mean, it's hard to capture those moments on camera, but I always do my best. Those sort of those personal interactions are just like that. They're just magical. And and she goes, "Where are you from?" And we're like, "England." In this car, do you remember? She couldn't believe it.
She was beautiful, wasn't she? In fact, the comments on the Facebook, because our videos are cut down into segments and put on Facebook, and so many people, so many women said, if my husband said that, I would have beaten him. And I was laughing, thinking that's so funny. That's absolutely funny.
I love it. Where's Foggy Bottom? Hey, from San Antonio, Texas, you nutters. Thank you. I'm proud to be a nutter. I've watched your videos over and over again, and I enjoy your adventures. You are both brilliant. Big hugs. So there you go. Put in the comment, what is your favorite video or moment in a video? I always love to know what you guys love. So yeah.
I assume Trudy is ride or die on this one. Apologies if you cover this. Yeah, Trudy's staying at home for this one. We're going to go over and buy a 4x4. But Trudy's gonna be back here getting fixed for when we get back. And sorry if I keep looking over here. It's just I've got these new bifocal glasses and I can only see the comments when I'm here. I can't see them on Christmas.
So it's funny actually when you do the live chat. Really, you should look at the camera, but then we're always reading the comments. So it looks like we're not making eye contact. We're just
hanging out, aren't we?
We're just hanging out. I've got my Christmas beer.
My Lemsip is finished. I'm getting over a chest infection. Merry Christmas from Edinburgh. Loved your travels. Looking forward to your new adventures. Thanks, Irene. That's lovely. Pam Hass, welcome to the Tread Tribe member.
So if you do, head over to the website, treadtheglobe.com.
www.treadtheglobe.com. And then we've got a membership tab. Click on there and it gives you all the different levels.
So many. So yeah, put in the comments your favorite video or the favorite part of a video or something that you really remember or loved. Because I always like to that. Richard, there's so many. Where are we starting from? On this trip, we're starting from Kota Kinabalu. And we're going to, I don't know really where we're going to go. We're going to go down to the bottom of Sarawak somewhere. I love it when you're in Turkey.
Yeah, we love Turkey.
Michael Palin has a lot to answer for.
He does. And Top Gear.
Top Gear. I think, we might do Tread the Globe meets Top Gear. We should do a couple of those.
I've tried to persuade him to let me do the most dangerous roads in the world, but he's not having
It's truly going to be turned into a 4x4. Funnily enough, we actually spoke to Fiat to see if they could do it.
Yeah.
But we didn't really get anywhere with that. Trudy is a bit boggly, to be fair. I think she could get skating wheels. Trudy's a legend. She made it around the world. Ain't many vans that would do that.
Yeah.
The older endings when Chris says to the audience, "Oh, you're still here." I had to do it at the end of the last video when we crossed the finish line, just for old time's sake.
Tolga said cockroach was fun.
Cockroach. If you've seen that, the sheep's intestine sandwich. Tolga is the one that took me for it.
It's his fault.
He used to be a DJ on. He's in that. He's there. Look, he used to be a DJ on Bodrum radio station. So he pressurized me live on air to go and eat cockroach. So I had to follow it. It actually tasted pretty good, to be fair.
John said about the stepwells in India impressed me, and he never knew such things existed. I didn't either. It was such such a surprise, and I loved it.
Hot air ballooning in Turkey.
Yep.
I loved all your videos, especially your trip to Japan, because one of my best friends was born and raised in New York, lives in Kashima. There you go.
Oh, that's nice.
We'd like to show you. Yeah, we'll show you.
Oh, you're still there.
It's funny, you know. It's like some people loved it and some people hated it. Like some people used to message me, "Can you stop doing that stupid ending?" I mean, it used to be really funny. If you haven't seen the old videos and you don't know what I'm talking about.
Cows on the road.
Yeah, well, you see it on the end video, right at the end. I did. You're all still here. It's the end of the show, but yeah. I had lots of fun doing it, especially when I used to put the camera in the toilet.
Rock Goddess, thank you.
Dancing with the tribes in Africa. Actually, that was a very cool moment.
Yeah, we just proved that we have no rhythm at all.
I had no rhythm. There was one we weren't expecting the tribe that time. They came and danced. I got up. We both got up and danced with them, but we didn't film it. Sometimes these things happen.
It's a reason to go back.
Georgian roads. I think who likes the dangerous, like the crazy roads? I think we need to find more of those.
Izmir, hi, how are you? We are very well, thank you. Yeah, Chris loves eating anything. You'll eat anything, won't you? I'm going to challenge him with widgety grubs and things like that. In fact, his brother laughs and says, YouTubers are going on I'm a Celebrity. We should all get Chris on YouTube.
Oh, that's not even slightly funny. If you're not from the UK, have you seen I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here? They always have a YouTuber every year and they do crazy things and eat crazy things. And I just laugh because they're all ill eating these fish eyeballs and they've got to do these crazy challenges to get food. I think if you look at what channel was it on? ITVX. If you go on YouTube and put "I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here UK," yeah, it's a crazy show. Frankie and Alex watched it, and yeah,
they were laughing their socks off. Ursula said he likes the Turkish barber experience. We actually met a lovely guy on the road when we were traveling, Martin, and he always went for a barber experience in every country. And if you look back at was it El Salvador videos? Was it El Salvador? You went for the barber experience.
Oh, Nicaragua.
Oh, Nicaragua.
That was. He gave me a massage with this thing on the end of a drill, and there was a horse. There was a horse that walked past. It was the weirdest experience I ever had in my life. There's a video, Nicaragua. It was in Granada.
It was.
Granada.
It was incredible. In fact, I think you should do a barber experience. Obviously, I did this today, but I think you should go to a barber every day, every country we go to.
Tolga, I'm a Celebrity. Those are even too crazy for me. Yeah, it's mad.
I'm a celeb. For God's sake, keep them in there.
I know. But it's funny. I don't know. It's funny.
Jack was on the edge of his seat with the Turkish tea roads. They were.
Sarah's the same age as you, Marianne. There you go, Sarah. Get some mad travels under your belt. The breakfast at the cafe by the river in Turkey.
Oh, that was nice. Ilara.
Yeah. Videos from the car park. Do you know, when I think back to the car park, 95 days in the car park, I don't actually know what I filmed. It's like, what do you film for 95 days in a car park?
Steps, growing vegetables in the mud.
They were only 10-minute. They were 10-minute videos in those days. I really didn't know what to film. Stick to I'm a Celeb because the alternative might be Squid Games. I'm not doing Squid Games, John.
I haven't really watched it, but it looks hilarious.
Richard liked the Korean videos. Back roads in France sounds nice.
They are beautiful. My sister
Michigan.
lives in France.
When are you coming? I need to come back to Michigan. I used to live just outside of Northville, Plymouth, Michigan, that area. Yeah,
we were getting to know new friends in Istanbul. In fact, they're not even friends; they're our chosen family.
Yeah, actually, it's lovely because we've got so many friends around the world now. It's just great. after watching you finished your COVID turkey videos.
Oh, that's true.
There's a lot.
Do you remember that? Aaron's just reminded me when we were in New Orleans. And the guy looked into the camera and he said, "These folks are going to get the job done."
Oh, yeah.
These folks are going to get it done.
I'm going to put that in the series. Expedition Living.
That's great.
Folks.
I'm glad you reminded me.
Yeah, thanks for that. That's a classic.
We want to see you in Texas. Bean, loved it. Going to go back.
Did you see our Texas videos? We went to, we did loads in Texas. San Antonio. We went up through Hill Country.
Oh, the Hill Country.
The Cartoon Saloon.
The Cartoon Saloon. That was great.
Population Bank of Staff.
Population 0.
There you go.
Prawns on the beach with Ben and Cheska. Was envious of that bit. That is still in my top
I'm naked Kim.
5 places in the world. Was on that beach with our friends with bioluminescence, prawns, carrot cake.
What were we doing in Michigan? I used to live there as a kid. My parents lived there. My dad used to work in Detroit, and he was based out there for 4 years. He used to work for British Airways, and so I spent. I carried on my schooling in the UK, but holidays we used to get because he worked for British Airways. He used to fly us out to the States and Michigan, Plymouth, Northville, all around there. We used to live on 7th Mile, and he used to work in Detroit. So there you go.
Yeah. John's asking, what's it like driving back on UK roads with rules?
Do you know what's really fascinating? I was driving.
The psychology
of this. So you drive through India and it's absolutely flipping nuts. And then, I was driving like in our local area here around Telford, and somebody was driving up my backside, and it got me really stressed. And I looked at Marianne and I said, "Why do I feel stressed that someone's driving up our backside? But half of the world that we've just driven round, there's always somebody a foot from my backside." And I thought to myself, it's because here we've got rules and everyone sticks to them, and they shouldn't be doing that. So if somebody doesn't stick to it, it's a big deal. A big thing. But in India, like for example, in India, Thailand, everybody's driving close to you. Georgia, they drive like
most countries. People drive defensively, and they don't drive according to rules. They just drive according to survival. So it's very interesting, isn't it, that you would get the rules actually created stress. And in India, if you watch some of the videos where I've got lorries coming at me from that side, and then I'm trying to get round them this side, we're all just laughing. It's chaos and it's quite stressful, but people are just laughing because it is what it is. It's very interesting, isn't it? Our psychology. What we're doing in Detroit. Yeah, Detroit's a dangerous area. It was in the 80s, to be fair, but I hear it's much better there now. Did we find America's Dullest Man? That was a great video. That guy, he actually, in the video, I mean, we called it that because he said, I was voted America's Dullest Man, but he was a great chap. He was one of the most interesting men. And in fact, if you haven't seen that video, if you've heard of the movie Oppenheimer that's just come out, he's the guy that supplied all the 1950s, 60s, 70s, like petrol things and like set. He did some props for it. He had loads of old stuff, props for the Oppenheimer movie, which was filmed just down the road from him near Santa Fe. Yeah, near Milwaukee, which is where our friend lives. And what was fascinating is I was saying to him, "Oh, you're so interesting," and he said, "Really?" He said, "I got voted the dullest man," and he pulled out this calendar, and I think was it month June? Yeah, he was like voted the dullest man in America. I'm like, that's just really? So random. So yeah, he was very proud about that. Gina wants to go out, leaving. Good night, Ursula. Good night, Ursula. Gina's his dog. Yeah. So he's got to take her out for a walk. Yeah. Big love. Where are you going next? You've just joined us. You've missed the big news. So we're flying on the 27th of December to with Turkish Airlines. With Turkish Airlines. That would be lovely. To Malaysia. And then we're going to fly to northern Borneo and try and buy a 4x4 and go on an overlanding trip round Sabah, Brunei, and Sarawak. Sounds mad when I say it out loud. I've never driven a 4x4 car, so I'm very excited to learn. There you go. We might be able to find a few locals that can teach us, tell us the best places to go. So there you go. Actually, that's a lie. I've driven a Land Rover 4x4 once through some muddy roads up the road with Ash 4x4.
I thought you handled the Indian traffic amazingly.
Thank you.
I think she did.
Woohoo!
I might have had, my blood pressure might have been up, but yeah, it was hot. It was so hot and stressful. It was noisy. It was a tough. In fact, the most stressful was when our horn broke.
Oh yeah, horns are essential. Horns and brakes are essential.
Yeah. So that is the plan, guys. So yeah, we hope you all have a fabulous Christmas and share it with loved ones. Be nice to your neighbours. Have a great time. Eat lots of food. Don't worry about the diet.
Pam's saying, help me find your trip with Frankie and Alex. So yes, it's Frankie and Alex. If you go into YouTube and type capital F.
Let me type it. FNA.
And small n, capital A, van life. That will be the one.
Yeah, if you type that into YouTube, then that will
that will pop them.
That will pop up. There's a whole series of us driving around the UK with them.
Great time.
I think they made like nine videos or something. So yeah, have an amazing Christmas, guys. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you. We've missed you, and we're going to take you on some crazy adventures. So watch out in the new year. I don't know the exact date, but I would imagine probably maybe the second Sunday in January, the first video will come out. And from then on, it will be every Sunday morning as usual. So spread the love, and we'll see you, members. We'll see you on the lives, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Yay. And thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Bye. Have a fabulous one to you and yours. Merry Christmas.